watching Numbskull News, and we got a red alert, people. Big 12 coaches. Someone can lose a freaking coach. Washington just lost their coach, Mr. DeBoer, to Alabama. Now, I think that's a good hire. It's a pretty damn good hire. He's he got a little youth on his side, good coach, got good results. Why not, right? So, I was thinking Steve Sarkisian. Thought that'd be funny if that happened to Texas on the way in. But it's DeBoer, which means Washington is open. Now, a lot of people automatically, they want to go to Coach Fish down there in Amazon, damn. Down there in Arizona. However, it's creeping out there that he has no interest. And I think that's a smart move for Mr. Fish. He's building something pretty special there in Arizona. He's got a lot of players coming back, got a good quarterback. So going to the Big 12. Now, there are some expectations with him going into the Big 12, but I think he's got the kind of team that can live up. All right, I think they can live up. And he's looking like a guy who's about to get paid by Arizona. Even though they got some financial problems there, they're still going to find some money for Coach Fish. And it's a smart move if he does stay. And I believe he will. Because, look, you coming up to coaching ranks, you want to find a good spot, D1, preferably a power conference team, where you could plant your flag there for the next 10, 15 plus years. That's what you want, right? That's what Nick Saban did. He could have done it at LSU, but wanted to try the NFL and didn't work out. And then he spent, well over a decade, 15 years, maybe more than that. I can't remember now, but a long damn time in Alabama. If you win, that helps. And expectations. What are the expectations in Washington? They're probably pretty damn high. You're going to the Big Ten. You're a big program. Not a blue blood, but a big program. And they just played for a national title. Just went undefeated. Won the last Pac-12 title. At least the last one anyone's going to care about. Now they're going to have the expectations of competing with all the big programs. And that's what's going to get levied at the next coach there. But look, Alabama wasn't going to go for one of the Big 12 coaches. A lot of really good coaches, but they were wanting a big premier name. DeBoer fits that. All right, Lanning, like I said, he's in a sweet spot there. He doesn't want to go anywhere. You got Nike right there in your back pocket. I mean, really, and Mike Norvell sitting there at FSU. I mean, he's already in a blue blood program, big time program, had an undefeated season. They're about to unload, a freaking Brinks truck into his backyard. Why leave? That doesn't make sense. To go to Alabama with the upper echelon of expectations. He's going to be at FSU for a long time. And he already knows that. And I think most coaches, hey, you find a spot and you plant your flag, you stay there. What I didn't know about DeBoer, I didn't know that, the guy who brought him into Washington had left for USC. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he had signed with Saban's agent, the SEC mega agent. Didn't know that. Now, when I first heard the name, I'm like, well, maybe, because that's a big upgrade going from Washington to Alabama. The other guys, they didn't make a lot of sense to me. DeBoer makes sense. But Washington, on the other hand, they're not Alabama. So they want somebody, a good young head coach who's had success and would like possibly get into a bigger program. And that's where the Big 12, at least some coaches in there, it could be a little scary. We don't know how this stuff's going to go. I mean, let's talk about Matt Campbell. Iowa State, really good coach, very well respected all over the college football landscape. People in the know really like him, and he's gotten a hell of a lot out of that unit. No one was expecting Iowa State, towards the end of the year, to actually have a shot at getting into a Big 12 conference title game, and they did. Especially with how they started with the whole gambling crap and all that. He did an amazing job. And he's done an amazing job there, and it's not an easy place to do an amazing job, Iowa State. It's really not. It's not the first. If you're, a big time recruit from Texas or Florida or California, you're not really thinking of the state of Iowa, but if you are, you're thinking of the hot guys. You're not really thinking, you know, Iowa State. So it's challenging. It's not that it's not a good program. It is. It's a great school, great fan base, but it does have its challenges. So to me, Matt Campbell, if Washington looks that way, that could be someone who can be a little susceptible of like, oh wow, Big Ten school now, Washington, way bigger program. Maybe I could do some things there. Another guy, Lance Leopold. I don't know enough about, because Kleiman, I'm pretty sure, they would be stupid not to look at Chris Kleiman. But again, I don't know. I just feel Kleiman is kind of entrenched there at Kansas State. He knows he's got a long-term job there. You go to Washington, first 3 years don't go so well, and that can easily happen. You're upgrading the competition going to Big Ten, and with the other coach, with DeBoer going, he's going to be probably plucking some kids out of that system. You got to go re-recruit the thing. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a damn challenge. And look, these coaches, they're up for challenges. I'm not saying anything like that, but Chris Kleiman, I think he sees what he's got. I mean, he just, the year before last, won a Big 12 title. Definitely has a team that's, one of the favorites to do it again. And that's getting you into the playoffs. So, I don't know. And like I said, what are the expectations at Kansas State? Is he expected to bring home a national title? He's not. Is he expected to compete for the conference? Yes, he is. Washington, they expect Washington to compete for a Big Ten title, which, it's tough getting through Ohio State. It's tough getting through Michigan and Penn State. All right, they can do it, but it's tough with those three big dogs looming around. And then they also expect you to get into the playoffs and make a run. So, is that the expectation for Chris Kleiman? It's not. Or Lance Leopold or Matt Campbell. Those aren't the expectations. The expectation is to have a good year, win way more than you lose, and compete for a conference title. Compete to get into the conference game and compete for that title. That's the expectation. So it's a different level of expectations in the Big 12 versus the Big 10 in a big program. Now, there's something about Chris Kleiman. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Gary Patterson. He passed up a lot of different opportunities to stay at TCU. And I have a feeling Fish and Kleiman are kind of in the same ilk. I don't have the same. I'm a little bit more scared when it comes to Leopold. I don't know if he'll bolt, because Kansas is, we all know, huge basketball school, one of the blue bloods, but football, it's always been an also-ran, it's always been a doormat, and he's turning that around. Every year they get a little better and a little better, get better recruits, a little better recruits. The recruits they have get better and better. Even if it's a 2-star guy's playing like a 3-star guy. A 3-star guy's playing like a 4-star guy. That's when you got a damn good coaching staff and a quality head coach. All right, when they're developing players at that level. And that's exactly what they're doing at Kansas. Now, does he want to stay at Kansas and finish the work, or does he want to take on and go to a bigger program You know, could it be for a bigger payday? I don't know. Can Kansas pay Leopold? I think they could. None of these schools in the Big 12 are exactly broke. They make good money. You can get paid out the ass here in the Big 12. Uh, could Washington pay more? I suppose they make more. Well, actually, not right now. They don't make more. Uh, they didn't exactly try to money whip the crap out of DeBoer. So, I don't know. All I know, it does have me worried, though. I don't think there's really any other coaches in the Big 12 besides those three that could be worrisome. Joey McGuire, I don't know. I don't think he's put enough out there. I know he recruits his ass off. He can recruit Texas, definitely. It hasn't really translated as much on the field. I know you may say, well, Iowa State, but Iowa State is, like I said, they've been pretty damn good. Salty. One of the better defenses, if not the best defense in the Big 12. I know this year it was Texas, but Iowa State's not that far behind. And the year before that, they were even better. And Texas wasn't this big shit defense. Yeah, so just keep an eye out because, the Big 12 is being targeted. I believe they're being targeted by Washington. They're going to be looking, at some people that are in-house or, as well. There may be a few coaches in and around different parts of the country. Sure. But they're going to be, that's the type of program you got to worry about when they lose a head coach. They're going to be targeting you. Not worried about Alabama. I'm not worried about Ohio State. I'm not worried, whenever the next opening in Clemson comes around. I'm not really worried about them. But a program like Washington does worry me. That size. Because it's big enough to be appealing, but not super big enough where they feel like they got to get like this giant name from another big program or something. They can pull from lower ranks, if you will. So we are on red alert. Keep keep watching, peek around the corner, good channels like that for that kind of information. I'm not going to break anything to you. I don't know anything. But keep an eye out, especially if you're fans of those schools. And if you're a Big 12 fan, I don't want to lose any of these coaches. I think they do tremendous jobs. I want to see where they take their programs in the Big 12. And it would really suck to lose one of those guys to freaking Washington. So that's my 2 cents in there. I'm hoping they get, their eyes trained on the ACC or something. Maybe there's an ACC coach out there hanging out there looking for, a younger guy looking to do something. Hopefully it's something like that. And leave our people the hell alone. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap, and I'll be back with some other crap later. Bye.